in person. There's ways that you can positively set everything up in advance just by showing people a video so they get to get registered. They put their ID and they have a pre, interview, right? Hi, this is so and so from the da 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 da, right? Well, they should, and we should be a nation that shows people how we beta test it right where we live because blockchain solves a lot of solutions. We don't want to be on the new world order. We don't want to be. I don't want to be on Peter Thiel's stuff. Like this is just me speaking, right? I don't just trust a lot of those other people. So if you develop and you bring your own and you test it and you bring it to market and it works, then we can introduce it to other people. And like right now we're launching Zeppelin and Echo where every free user, kids as well, because there's no porn, there's no dirty stuff on it. It's designed for the user experience and the interface on a mobile game to shoot you know planets that are going down a runway, and you earn. Right now we're already giving away 250,000 in sponsorship from our advertisers that are giving back to the people who are playing a game of skill, right? So we're introducing all of these different concepts to people that didn't have the accessibility to get rewards before, and they don't have to learn all the mechanics of crypto just to download a wallet and get paid and then put it on their debit card and spend where they need to spend today. Whereas,
Wow. Say aloha, Lori. Tell her top secret. You'll find out in May. Yeah, and shout out to Maui Lahaina Andrew. You got to do a shout to Maui because Andrew Aker hosted me after Oluwalu, after everything went down. Andrew knows everything to Eddie Garcia. We went to all the camps. And Andrew, you should tell the people and do a shout out for everyone in Lahaina and everyone in Maui. Well, we're sending goods now for everyone asking to Molokai. Auntie Blanche is sending goods. The Lions Club called me yesterday. We got $15,000 worth of goods. We got to send to Molokai. The Maui mayor, Mayor Bisson, needs to request it to the National Guard, put an official itemized list together, send it to the governor. Governor sends it to the guard because not right now people coming out of pocket. For example, the South Seagull sent 1,000 pounds worth of food, comma Airlines, whatever it called, was about $336 just for food. But everyone's gonna put it on a boat and a barge. You know how long it took me last time. You know, so realistically, if my Lions Club is gonna send $15,000 in supplies, I'm like put it on a plane, take off a couple of grand for transportation costs, then I can secure it, make sure it lands. Because when you put stuff on boat, it don't always come off to where you want to go. If you feel me, brother. Yeah, we need the team to go with the goods and the team to receive the goods so it doesn't get pilfered. Yeah, if we're going to Molokai. He's been on the boat again.
right.
Yeah, because the other guy, um, the other guy with the long hair running in Maui, he joined the Green Party. Pelecoa. He joined the Green Party because he knows he couldn't win as a nonpartisan independent. So he joined the Green Party. I doubt it. I doubt it, but he joined the Green Party. That's all I can say. He's got a decent website for his age, but the Green Party doesn't have enough members. You have to listen to the Democrats. They can't win because they don't have the numbers. They don't have the numbers. It's just stats. It's no personal feelings. You don't have the stats. So we have to also be realistic. We want to support the younger generations, people running for office, but also come with practical solutions like how you're making the business, Khaled doing crypto, everyone's doing their side hustles because we can't rely on the government. But I want to pass it back on to you guys so we can continue the podcast.
Well, I think that the other things too that we've all been talking about is having affordable housing. What does that look like? How can we, as Hawaiians, Kanaka, be involved in solving the problems? Because I truly believe that you have to have Hawaiians involved to solve the problems in Hawaii. And for many of us, this is where we're from, this is who we are, this is, we have, really talented Hawaiians that are all over the archipelago. Everyone should consider, running, just putting their name in, and at least talking about it, and start stirring up a conversation and seeing how the response is. And then, people can be interviewed on top of this podcast by all of us. Let's get to know all of these other candidates more and
Weed
see
out
where we.
people.
Oh, go ahead, Shayna. Go ahead.
No, no, I'm just saying that. Yeah, I like your idea where we weed out the people.
Yeah, and then we can advocate for them. There's a lot of ways to be able to get your brand, your name, marketing and advertising out without having to spend a fortune. And, we just so happen to have networks to be able to do that too. Everybody's network is their net worth. We're all entrepreneurs. We've done stuff from, nothing to something. And we're all collaborating together as consultants that are trying to figure out who it is that we attract, and we can help them with their stuff. And so as we do that, that gives everybody more exposure to who we have is in our network. And that could be a really big shift of power for the average person to feel inspired and motivated to want to practice being an example of what we're all teaching and showing, and rewarding people for doing a good job instead of like continually like putting them in trauma.
Right.
The Epstein files. Let's talk about the Epstein files. Yeah, Captain Planet, Voltron gonna fight the Epstein files. We all know why we're in this war. Because Donald Trump is escaping. He can't bomb his Iran away from the Epstein files. And Pam Bondi got fired from the DOJ. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. But there's a problem. Todd Blanche, the interim AG, is just as bad because he's the one who interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. And they're all guilty as kukai, which means shit in Hawaiian. So let's talk about it because Jared Kushner is the Antichrist and the brains behind the operation. They're listed in the Epstein files, which points back to Israel, the Mossad, and the Rothschilds, who made the state of Israel in 1948, CIA in 1947, and Mossad in 1949. Andrew Aker, take it away from here. Anti-Semitic was their code word about Israel by Mossad.
Well, they're ran by Zionists. It's different than even Jewish. They're ran by
It's not
Zionists.
Judaism, it's Zionism.
Yeah, they're run by
Beautiful.
Zionists.
Yeah, and they're black.
Well, and
They look
well, and
like
the whole.
Billy Carlton. Yeah, Semitic. Yeah, Semitic means you're either Hebrew or Arabic and you speak the language. So when you're anti that, that means you don't speak Hebrew or Arabic. Shalom, assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Right? Because I learned how to speak Arabic. All you say is, "As I love to lick them really fast," and there you go. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, or we can just say
As I love to lick them. Just say it real fast.
we can just
Assalamu
say
alaikum. Wow.
aloha. We can just say iyo because we get our
Yeah.
own
So that's
culture,
Hajime Mashte.
our
Nice to
own
meet you.
language. That didn't come from Europe over here in the archipelago. So, um, yes, well, Donald Trump is not the only one in the Epstein file. You know, Bill Clinton, who did a public joint confession, U.S. public joint confession 103-150 with no resolution. And then you take everybody who signed those agree, those bills or whatever, the Akana
You
bill,
Monica
whatever.
Lewinsky? I did
Yeah,
not
what?
have sexual relation with Monica Lewinsky. I
But
just got a
he's
blowjob.
hey, I mean, like I told this, like I
And
told
how
the
does it tie to Hawaii?
well, because it ties to
My
Hawaii
God,
because
Mickey.
that's the confession without resolution that we as Hawaiians
We
are
got
still
the P. Diddy
standing
files on
upon.
Maui because of the chief of police.
Right.
Exactly.
So who are all the pedophiles connected to?
Yeah, the
Who?
cleaner. His code name on the street
Yeah.
is the cleaner working for P. Diddy with the GDH baby oil fuck party, rape party.
Yep.
They couldn't prosecute.
Yeah, I have son. Hunter Biden is terrible. Joe Biden is terrible. Like they are. I've seen him tie a girl to a stripper pole and whipping her on a video.
Yeah.
It's both sides. It's a long time coming where pedophiles have been in government. They've been in charge of all the systems that have been in for at least the last 3, 4, 500 years. So like nobody wants to say that their country wants to stand on pedophilia and child trafficking and human trafficking. Like the people of all of those places where they live, they better get their shit together and get rid of their pedophiles. And as a people, as a group, as a community, rather than relying on the people who are the pedophiles and playing politics and fucking little kids.
It's a shit show.
Right. Well, and I mean, again, so well, you get other people
Yes.
who
Literally.
you collaborate with other people, right? And then you try to figure out, you weed them out as you go along. And the reality is a lot of people have been to a lot of those parties, and and some people got caught and some people didn't. But right now, if we just focus where we're in Hawaii. Josh Green is a freaking Zionist. Blanjardi is a Zionist. We got the senators going and kissing the wall of Israel, who are playing politics that live right here in our local area, and they don't understand how money works. I definitely could have opened up my own bank a long time ago, right? And maybe I have, but nobody really knows because why? Because nobody really wants to help you after you help them. You give away millions and millions, and you got ungrateful people who like throw you under the bus when they don't understand what you did for them. That doesn't feel cool. And then you have people that you go through challenges with and you find out they're still right to die, they're hardcore, and they would help on certain things and maybe they can't get to everything, right? But then you start inviting them to our events that we're having and on the podcast and talk with them because we can literally control the way that who we have around us. That's the one choice we all have, right? Freedom of choice is to have choose the people who are going to be around you and how much time you spend around them, and are we on the same mission and vision? Do we want to be able to solve the problems that haven't been solved and all the complaints that we're getting from all of our communities? The answer is yes.
I want to believe in God we trust. In God we trust. Because Trump just changed the $100 bill from Benjamin Franklin to his face, bro. Just like Hitler and Saddam Hussein. You can't because the Rothschilds funded all just like all the wars. They created it in 1913. You can go back to Jekyll Island, the creature from Jekyll Island, the book. Robert Kiyosaki, G. Edgar Gifford talked about it, and Donald Trump wrote all about it in Why We Want You to Be Rich. That, no, I graduated from both their universities, Rich Dad University, Trump University. They golf and understand the economy, recession, depression, etc. He's on team cash flow. He's on team cash flow.
Cash flow. He's trying to help everybody out the rat race.
He's already retired. Him and the camera dog. He didn't believe in Bitcoin when I believed in Bitcoin. Is it Warren Buffett? Well, look at it now. He's a Marine. He doesn't give a fuck. Semper Fi.
No, I mean, you gotta have somebody like ourselves who've built and designed our own software technologies and can challenge the cash flow, the debt flow system. Because how do you buy land and resources with debt that was printed by pedophiles and think that it's gonna still stand after the global reset happens? It ain't. Well, God doesn't even need money. Okay, that's like God doesn't even need money. It's no, it's just man telling us that this is God's money. Well, I mean, everything takes electricity. Electricity is a frequency. It can be utilized as a utility. We don't, based on what we're going to be introducing to our communities and helping solve our problems, we don't even have to be in office to be able to become popular and well known for the humanitarian projects that we're going to do. So, I mean, everybody get a bit better get ready because they're going to be learning some stuff being around the people who are putting the content out, right? Yeah, and we got people who've developed those technologies and put millions into to make it
Run
work
to the bathroom.
so that the average person can onboard it. I'm I got a lot of projects, but I just present myself as an individual, when I get out there, I network and I talk to people. I observe people, not 46, I'm a grown woman. I'm not 24 anymore. I can sit in a room and dissect a lot of people and their energy. And by hearing what they talk about, I can hear the solutions that we've created for everybody to be able to adopt and basically walk away from all these other pedophilic systems that are out there as they're being exposed for who they are and who their brands are. That shit was sick. And the police officers looking at the videos, they're throwing up.
Yeah, codename Frazzle Drip. That was Frazzle Drip.
Yeah, frazzle drip. No, but that's the Congress and the Senate. I mean, that's all of them because they're all insider trading on all the projects that they get to see first, that they're controlling the funding that's coming in to the budget from the Federal Reserve. there's enough of us who know that are gathering, offline. We're sharing what we're talking about online. We're giving transparency. We're really sharing what we really think about things. We're all our own individuals. Somehow, as the Ohana Unity Party, we're all kind of, hanaing each other, or, we want to spend the future making good decisions because we want to protect the keiki where we're at, you know, and that means we all got to be mindful. And that is going to take the spirit of aloha, but who better than to teach it than the Hawaiians? You know what I mean? And who better to teach everybody else? Well, a lot of people think that haole means white person, and it doesn't. It means without the breath of life, without consciousness. So, imagine just being able to share that insight now after everybody thought it meant a white skinned person. For all these. But that's okay because, like, we're all born with source inside of us, right? For us, it's Io and us, Io and you, and Io and me, and Kako, Oko, Wiko, Hanaho. And so, as long as we know that, we can activate our own individual sovereignty, but we have to be able to stand on it and then also be able to, communicate with others that are willing to work together. And yep. Anybody else want to make any other, share with the community or the audience, maybe something that we haven't covered that they want to cover? Um,
Yes, 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 yes. No, I'm back. And one more, yeah. So I can do a reintroduction of myself. So aloha mai, kako, yes. So thank you just for being here today, for listening, and for holding space for a vision that is deeply rooted in our aina and our legacy. So my name is Shayna De La Cruz, and today I want to share something that is more than just a project. It's a calling. It's about honoring where we come from, protecting where we rest, and building something meaningful for generations still to come. So in Nanakuli, we are surrounded by history, not just the kind written in books, but the kind carried in names, in families, and stories passed down quietly and powerfully. Our kupuna are still with us, not just in memory, but in the land itself. And yet there is growing need in our community, a need for space, for dignity, and for preservation. A need for Malama, our burial grounds in the way that reflects who we are as Kanaka, as people of this place. So the Nanakuli Cemetery vision was created with that purpose in mind, and that's something that I'm working on right now. And that vision is more about than creating just a cemetery. It's about creating a sacred space, a place where families can come together, a place where culture is not only respected but lived, a place where our kupuna are honored properly and our keiki can learn the importance of legacy, responsibility, and connection to Aina. So basically, this space it would integrate cultural practices, sustainability, and community design. A place that reflects Hawaiian values, which is our kuleana, malama, and aloha. But the visions like this doesn't always come easy. They require unity, and they require resources, and they require belief. Um, so our initiative to get this started would be Nahasda funding, which Shelby created a beautiful proposal that I can share with you guys through email or anybody who wants to see this vision. And we're um, yeah, I guess I could. We are working to bring this real support to into our community, and so It would allow us to build the infrastructure, create the opportunity, and uplift our people in ways that are long overdue. And this is really not about um, equity. It's about healing. It's about reclaiming the ability to care for our own and our own land. So for too long, communities like Nanakuli have had to fight to be seen, to be heard, and to be supported. But we're still here, strong, resilient, and ready. So this podcast, this conversation is part of that movement. So I'm so blessed to be a part of it. So thank you, Kale, for inviting me. It's a space where I can share truth, to talk story, bring awareness, and what's possible when community comes together with purpose. So whether we're listening as a community member, a supporter, a policymaker, or someone just learning for the first time, know that your presence matters, because change doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when we listen, when people care, and when people decide to stand behind something bigger than themselves. So the Nakuli Cemetery vision is about legacy, and it's about making sure that when our time comes, we are laid to rest with dignity in place that honors who we are and where we come from. And more importantly, it's about what we leave behind. So mahalo for being here, for listening, and being a part of my journey. So that's a little
Awesome.
bit about what I'm working on right now. Yes, unfortunately, I have been. But I am going to use my story as a solution and an alternative resolution for people who have experienced the things I have in the last 3.5 years. Because from 18 to 44, I don't have a rap sheet. But because I put my name on the ballot, I got arrested 7 times. Yes. So, long story short, I volunteered in Kim Pine's office when she was a city councilwoman. I worked for Cedric Gates and I worked for the Federal Census Bureau. I chose to put my name on District 43 at the time. That includes Nanakuli, Miley, Kalailo, some parts of Kalailo and Koolina. It's currently District 44. Darius Kila is currently our house rep. Correct. Taking down Mike Miskey and whoever was associated with him. He was the organized crime boss. So I survived. I survived the last 3.5 years like Jesus. Exactly. The spirit of Neo. Hmm. And
And she knows others, all of us know. I mean, basically everybody who ran in 2022, look what's happening to BJ, like look what happened to others that ran. I mean, I don't know if they're ready for all those.
yeah, so I'm three.
Well, and then Andrew, you're doing some stuff with radio, so for candidates who want to get more action time, he does advertising for radio where it's centralized in Hawaii, where, if you are going to be running for office, as we can get spots on the radio station too, and again, it's about. So you guys heard that, audience? So I mean, if you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to all the channels that you guys are, we're streaming from. And if you guys just send this video to 10 of your friends, especially if you live in Hawaii, right now, that's one of the things that we can each do to help each other unite and get the information out there. That doesn't cost anybody anything. I mean, if you like what you heard, and just send it to 10 of your buddies, see what they think about what we had to say, and our podcast. And some will like it, some might not like it, some might think we're this, some might think we're that, but we'll be back again. We usually do, Andrew and I usually do Wednesdays at 11:11 Hawaii Standard Time. And now I've got two more next week with Tuesday and Wednesday. I got two more at 11. And so we're going to be, this is how. Yep.
Yeah, it's censored. So you guys are gonna eat at McDonald's then? And for the record, I can't take too much credit because how I got to make Michael Miskey a platform for me is I went to Lindsay Keeney, the hired hitman, and that's how I found out majority of my information. And then on 3/11, I pulled 3/11 2022. I pulled papers for him to run for governor, and they took him in the following month, 4/13 2022.
So on that note, we're- everybody should be liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Definitely if you're in Hawaii, because obviously we're going to be able to share some things over the last 5 years that many people might not be able to talk about. But if you want change in Hawaii, and you want a better Hawaii, then my suggestion is continue to listen to all the drops that we release and share it to people that you care about, so that you can be well informed instead of misinformed.
Yeah, and I don't just say it, I write it down, I put it on the record. And they don't like that. Yep, it's about time we clean house. Okay. Yep.
Just for everybody, we're going to be Carl and I and Andrew will be releasing some videos, over social media, about videos that we got from the prosecutor's office and that we have at our own, and we'll be putting it out on social media. So look out for that, right, Carl?
Yeah.
So we'll release it through the channels that we already have set up, and people can, they can ask themselves, is this right or not? You know what I mean? If this happened to you, would you want it to happen to you or your mom or your grandma or your daughter, just for being parked in a park? Oh shoot. So just look out for that. Any other updates for now? And then we'll just keep on giving updates as we have the podcast. Yeah, and if you guys have any ideas about people that you guys think that we should interview on the next podcast, you guys, then let's just make an email thread with all of us in it and then put those names in it and then we can, set things up accordingly. Yeah, and what you could also do is you can communicate in clean Hawaii instead of the WhatsApp thread. You guys are all in there except for Shelby because I guess Shelby doesn't have WhatsApp. But if you guys start dropping stuff in there, then everybody else in the group can share what you guys are sharing in there on WhatsApp. Okay. All right, you guys. Aloha. Malama pono.
Ahui ho.
Ahui ho.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.